Photography is an ever-changing business, and gone are the days where you are just a photographer. And I'm not even convinced those days ever really existed. Having spoke to people from back then who've since left the profession, they also had multiple income streams. It just seems to have become a bit of a dirty word today. Now, as someone who makes the majority of their money as a photographer, have a side business of this here, YouTuberness, I want to go through income streams. I'm going to tell you 6 of my income streams that sort of make this a pleasant place to be. If I was just a photographer, there'd be ups and downs that'd be too stressful for me personally. Some people, they're fine with it. They're like, yeah, I've not worked for 6 months, but then I just got a job for £250,000 for Nike, so winner. I can't live like that. I like to have money coming in regularly, even if it pales into insignificance in the long run. I know my accountant pointed out that I made 90% of my money in 3 days last financial year. So, you know, that the rest of the year was kind of pointless, but it helps me feel secure because we never know when the next disaster is on its way. And I think if there's one thing COVID taught us, it is that. First income stream, shooting. I shoot stills. Not anything you'll see here over on Tin House Studios website, but if you head to my actual commercial website, scottchesino.com, or my agent's website, lisapritchard.com, you'll see the work we do. We shoot commercial campaigns for big brands, and sometimes small brands and startups as well, but predominantly we shoot the big brands, the big campaigns. And then it's really nice to get to see my work out on billboards, pays a lot of money. It's a nice job. Very good. But that's like, you expected that, didn't you? Next up is kit. Now, this comes in 2 ways. One is that as being part of shooting big jobs, we charge for kit usage. It is just part of the thing, because a lot of photographers don't own the kit. They just rent it for the jobs, because if you live in London or New York, you probably don't have a studio. So a lot of us just rent it as we go. But I own kit. So I rent my kit to the shoot, or I rent my kit from the studio, this place here, to myself for the shoot, whatever it may be. But I rent kit out. Now, some people rent kit to other folks. I don't do that because I'm a bit weird. I don't like other people putting their faces up against my camera. This might be like a post-COVID thing, but I don't want someone else's mush up against my camera and then me to basically be kissing them. Also, I don't know if they've dropped it, broken it, noticed a quirk in it, not told me. I don't know. I'd rather just always be the person who uses my own kit. But then even on like behind the scenes stuff, I let other people use my kit. But you can rent it out to other people if you're cool with that sort of thing. I'm just not. Next up is my studio. This big space here, I rent my studio out. You can rent a desk from me. You do hot desking from here sometimes. We let people rent it out for shoots. Not very often anymore because I don't like my next free day is in May. So it's not really that often that I do it, but I do rent my place out. Generally only to people I know. I don't rent it out to strangers or people I've never met before because, again, I don't need the money so much. But when I did back in the day, you could rent this place out from me if you were anybody. 200 quid, you're in. Give you a load of Bowens lights and I'll give you a 5D Mark II and you can go and shoot all day, but not so much anymore. But that is still an income stream. I still do get studio rentals. And again, as a photographer, and we don't very often, when we shoot in here, which I'm actually doing next week, that studio rental fee comes to my studio company, separate business to me. Okay, here's one which is a bit of a faux pas, but it's sponsorship. I get sponsored by brands. BenQ sponsor me to do things. Calibrite sponsor me to do things. There's a couple of brands out there which go, we'll pay you money to come and do a workshop for us. We'll pay you money to talk about our product. Now, I'm always very open about this. If you've ever seen something and go, is he being paid for that? If you're unsure, I'm not. I make it abundantly clear if anyone's ever paid me to do anything. There's nothing in the background of this video which is there because it's been paid to be there. This is all my stuff. I've paid for it all. No one's paying me for any of the background in this set here. Some people are like, oh, did Broncolor pay you? Like, no. I use a bit of Broncolor kit mostly that they don't make anymore now for 20 years. That is not great marketing for Broncolor. It's like, yes, here you go, guys. You made this great bit of kit 20 years ago. If you could just do another, that'd be great. But yeah, if there's any money exchange, I let you know about it. And generally speaking, it doesn't happen on my YouTube channel. It happens elsewhere. But I do take sponsorship deals. Coming as the back of like being an athlete, there's no way I'm going to have a brand name on my clothing here if they're not paying me to have it there. Content creation. This is what I do with you lovely people. This pays me money. Not much. I make about £1,200 a month making YouTube videos. You know, that's all right. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's money. An extra £1,200. I mean, there were times when that was my salary per month from like a real job, like a pay slip job. So it's nice. I love doing it. I really enjoy sharing my knowledge. It's something I find I enjoy more and more the more I do it, actually. To the point where I have considered maybe that this might be the future of my career. Maybe I will be just a YouTuber. But then maybe my YouTube wouldn't be as relevant to people if I wasn't also in that high-end commercial world at the same time. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Okay, the final one. This is my second biggest income stream, and this is education. I have an education platform called Tin House Studios where you can download videos that teach you how to do stuff that you just can't find elsewhere. I try and teach things which are useful for people who want to be pros, from like marketing, the business of photography, to trends in photography, how to create commercially viable bodies of work, all of that sort of stuff you can learn from that. And that makes a good chunk of change. That I find really awkward talking about money and making money, but it makes good money. I could just do that as a job. Don't have to do the photography, but I like being a photographer. It's cool. But yes, that is another income stream. Now, you might be thinking, that's great, Scott. I can't teach people how to be a commercial photographer. Probably not, if you're not already one. But you can probably teach people how to use a camera. You can probably teach people how to use a flash. As long as you're good at explaining things and you understand how to give them the information, you can teach them stuff. I know people who literally learn how to do something before teaching it. They're like, oh, I'm doing a camera workshop on off-camera flash at a camera club. I just got to work out how this works. But because they're good teachers, they just have to quickly Google how to do it. And they can teach that really quickly. If you've got that as a skill, why not utilize it? Start a camera club, charge people £5 to come along and have a play. Whatever it may be, there are income streams to be had there. Now, there's also income streams I won't touch. I'm very much never going to sell presets. And I say this regularly because I know how much money I could make by doing it and how easy it would be as like, let's just go and get some cash. They're pointless, absolutely pointless. I'll never do it. I'll never make presets. And if I do make a preset, I'll just give it to you because it's not for me. I'm never going to sell merch. I don't want to be selling and packaging merch. I used to sell backgrounds. I used to make these food photography backgrounds. Thought about going back into it again, but the bit which I don't like about it is that every single day I have to go to the post office and do the postal run. There's things I don't do for additional income streams, but maybe you can. Maybe if you have a work life where every day you're going to be going past the post office anyway, go and knock out some backgrounds and sell those. They sell like hotcakes. I made 100 backgrounds and sold them all in the first week. But I suddenly realized I felt like I was a factory worker and it wasn't for me. But it might be for you. Maybe you love that. Maybe you love the creation, the marketing and all that good stuff. There's one other thing I sometimes do for money. No, I'm kidding. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.